Hello everyone, this is Halloween Crazy, and in today's video I'm doing something a little bit different. This is not a Halloween review, which might be a little shocking to some people. This is actually a Christmas review, I guess you could say. So, Home Depot last year and maybe the year before, they released an SVI, which is a company that makes a lot of Halloween decorations like for Spirit Halloween, like Bog Zombie and Hugs and Cowering Clown and just a bunch of, metal characters, metal-based characters. And they made a life-size Santa for Home Depot because, why not? And that was a hit, I'm assuming. I believe a lot of people like that one. I like that one. It's very lifelike. It moves decently. And I guess to add on to that collection, they made a life-size reindeer this year. And this one is pretty hard to find, not very common. If you find one, I recommend grabbing it if you actually want the thing, because I have a local Home Depot a couple minutes from my house. They have their Christmas out, but they are sold out of reindeers, animated reindeers. But I went to another one of my Home Depots, and they had 2 of the reindeers in stock. So, and keep in mind, this was before Halloween, too, so they just put their Christmas out, and the reindeers were already gone. But, like I said, I think it was the Saturday before Halloween, or Sunday before Halloween, and they had the reindeer, and that's when I picked him up. So, I'm basically gonna be doing a review for you guys because I'm doing this early. If you wanna get this guy, I wanna show you everything that I can show about him that I know of, because I haven't owned this guy for too long. But I want to show you guys all the features. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments, and I'll try to respond to you. And I basically just want to show you what this character, this animatronic, does and is, and how it works. So if you're interested in buying it, you know everything that you need to know. So we will start with a demo. Now, it has a couple Christmas songs, it does. I'm gonna play the first one because it really doesn't do much more other than that. So this character has 2 motors. One of them is for the turning of the head left and right, and one of them is for the head going up and down. Now, it is only 2 motors, but it's the type of motor that like stops and starts, and so you'll see that it will like look forward, and then it will stop, and then it will look up, and then it will turn left and right, and it's not like one of those ones that consistently loop over and just keep spinning and spinning. They do have like relays to like stop at certain points and whatever, so it is a little bit, I mean, it's programmed, it looks a little bit more natural than you would think. I'll also, during this like little thing, go up close and show you guys it in action, and then I'll show you guys an up close in general. So I'm gonna go plug it in real quick, and I'll do the first one. Like I said, it has a couple Christmas songs. I haven't even heard them all, honestly, because it does get a little boring. I haven't really had a purpose to listen to all. I don't even, maybe it's 5, 4, 3, 8, I don't know. But it just plays like Christmas music, kind of like the Nutcracker or whatever. It doesn't talk, it doesn't have like a personality. It just kind of plays Christmas music and moves its head. It does have a volume knob, and it has a sensor tri-mid button slot. It doesn't come with one, but it has a button slot. So if you want to hook it up to a button, you can do that. And yeah, so I'm gonna go plug it in, and it should instantly activate. I'll let it run for a little bit, then I'll go up close so you can see the head moving up close and such. So let me go plug it in. There we go. So, like I said, he has multiple songs, or she, I believe it's a he though. So let me kind of get up close and I'll show you guys some details about him. Let me actually move him so he's facing a little bit more outwards. Sorry, I know you guys were kind of looking at his side that whole time. So here he is, Mr. Reindeer. So let me show you his box. Now, one thing that I do not like about this guy, well, I'll say some pros and cons throughout this video. One thing I don't like about this guy is how big his box is. He has a ginormous box, mostly because his body is just one section. They probably could have used some cheap felt and fabric, but they decided to use some nice hard plastic for his whole body. So that is one of the reasons why his box is big. I do not really like it being that big. I'm not too fond of that because I'm, really tight on storage, but it makes sense. I'm not going to complain too much about it, but it is something you need to keep in mind, how he has this humongous box. There's his number, plays festive music, realistic head movement, motion activated. He does have a sensor. It is a white AR sensor, I believe, and it is somewhere in his fur, which I don't know how that really works. Oh, here it is. It's right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I can feel it. It's like a ball right there. Anyways, so there's that. Let's see. So we can start with his detail. He has these antlers, which are hard plastic. You can't squeeze them or anything. Hard plastic. These screw on with an Allen wrench, which I don't really have tightened all the way. There's that. You have his head, which has ears, which, sorry, this one kind of covers his face, but he has nice ears, nice eyeballs. It would have been cool if he blinked somehow, if they added that mechanism. Oh yes, this guy was $200. So he is the same price as the life-size Santa, which has mouth movement, head turn, body turn, and sits, and talks. So keep that in mind. That's one of the things I also don't like, is how I would have liked 150, but I will say there are some reasons why I do think 200 is kind of acceptable. One of those reasons being, well, you have to think there's a lot of fur and fabric being used on this character, especially here. I mean, everything's covered with fur. If you look under, and fur is not a cheap material, let alone is it easy working with it. So I do kind of understand why they did have to make it that pricey, but I'm just not very happy with that price. I think 150 for this guy would have been a lot better, but like I said, he is very high quality, so it does make sense. His mouth is a little open and there's some red fabric in there. It's very nice. I don't know how well you can see that, but he has a nice plastic nose. He has this little like snout thing, which is kind of like a fabric-y thing that's like attached. You can't like, you can slide it, but I wouldn't do that. And there's these little like buttons on there. And then there's the actual piece that goes like to the back of his head and kind of just like adds some detail. Again, his ears. He has this like short white fur here, which is nice and soft. It's very fluffy. And then it goes down to a really fluffy long fur area part right down here, which I do think is nice on the box. I'll tilt my camera so you can see what the picture looks like. It does look a lot more flat, and mine looks kind of frizzy and everywhere. I didn't brush it or anything, so whatever, but it looks very nice and poofy. I like that. And then we have his overall plastic body. So like I said, I mean, a lot of fur goes into this, and cutting the fur in the factory where they made this, I'm sure wasn't easy. So there's a lot of stuff you have to consider. There's these bells which you have to attach, which are not hard to attach. They just clip on with these pins, but each of these bells you attach, they come in like a little baggie. The tinsel stuff is already on. Again, this whole thing is just all plastic. His body's plastic. It kind of gets that cheap plastic with the metal frame here, because this is made by SVI, so it has some of that stuff. It doesn't really affect anything. This guy's made for indoor or porch use. I'll be using him indoor because I don't want his fur getting all yucky outside. And I do really like him. And yeah, there are some like scratch marks from maybe the factory or maybe even me. I don't know exactly, but I don't really mind them because it's not going to stay perfect forever, no matter what. but there's white and red and this nice design. It looks very good. And like I said, they probably could have used just some weird like felt stuff and like a metal frame, but they decided to go with this. And I think it looks a lot better. This is very sturdy. You cannot sit on it. You cannot sit on this deer, but it's very sturdy. We'll go down to the legs. No leg is the exact same like model, like you know, 3D printed, whatever. They are each bent in their own different ways, and they attach on, and then you just put an Allen wrench through, and it kind of locks it in place. So they're not on like the best, because I feel like they could probably break off, but they're like definitely on. So it's just the brown fur, and then at the bottom it comes to this long fur, which sometimes can look bad if you like, you know, whatever, but then it has a hoof. You can see the hoofs there, which is very nice, and it has this for all the legs. You can see how that one's more straight, these two are kind of bent, and that looks nice. Now under here comes to the, like, I guess you could say, little compartment, and you can unvelcro this piece right here. So let me actually unplug it real quick, and I'll unvelcro it. Here you have, let's see, maybe he doesn't have a try me. I can't tell if that's a try me. Well, it has volume control, adapter slot, obviously no batteries. I know it has a continuous on, it has a sensor, and I think that's a try me. I guess it doesn't have a speaker jack. I'm assuming that's just a try me and there's no speaker jack. And then down here's the actual speaker. Now there is holes cut out in the actual fabric, so you can actually plug it in with this piece on, which is kind of nice. Here's a little label. Something Tong. I don't know. But that's that, and like I said, the little holes, so you can still adjust the volume from this piece down here. And yeah, I mean, it has, you know, here's a nice tail. Let me show you the tail. Again, a lot of fur. He has a nice tail here. It's kind of flat and floppy, but it is that nice long fabric and fur. Well, it's actually just the fur. Very nice, very nice. And now I'm going to go back to the front. I do like the eyes. I think they look good. They would have looked weird if they were white with this little pupil. So, I mean, it was definitely something they had to talk about and like design, but I think the brown with the iris looks fine. If it was white, it would have looked weird. The way the head goes on is there's actually, it's all velcroed on. So let me show you this. It all just like velcros onto like this like plastic piece, and then the head is like a separate piece you have to actually manually attach. Now there is, for some reason, a zipper on here. So that's how I'm going to show you the mechanism. There's a zipper through the side right here. It blends in pretty good, but there's a zipper here, and I'm going to put my phone down and unzip it. And what that will do is basically be able to show you kind of the mechanism and motor. There's no real purpose for this, but you can, if you were interested, like I said, here's that thin plastic, but there's still like metal on it. It's not like fully whatever. And here's the what I'm talking about. So here it is. Here's some of the mechanism. You can see here's the head turning motor. So that will turn, and that moves this thing up here. That moves this head. And then there's a rod up here, which is attached to this motor box here, which pushes it up and down. And the head kind of pivots on like all angles. So people were saying this was like a servo animatronic and stuff, which I guess we didn't really know at the time, but this is not a servo animatronic at all. It's just, I mean, it has like the advanced motors because they are like stopping and starting and turning and lefting and righting, but it's not servo technology. Servo technology, I mean, it would be cool if it was, but I guess the weight, you know, something they had to consider is this motors have to move this head with these heavy antlers. So I think what they did is fine. Those motors are fine. I haven't had any issues, but I also haven't run this guy that much. You know, I would kind of be a little concerned that the motors would break or something, because they are starting and stopping and starting and stopping, because that's all this guy does. And he's meant to be constant, really. So he is pretty cool. So I'm going to rate this guy out of 10 today. You know, 10, let's say, I would give him, sorry it's blurry, I would give him like an 8 out of 10. You know, a couple points lost because the size of the box and the price, but I do think he's really cool, and he's definitely going to get people in the festive mood. He's life-size, so you wouldn't think this is like a tabletop. You could probably go up to a kid and say this is a reindeer, and I'm sure kids will love to like scratch his head and like feel his, you know, fur and stuff, because it does feel soft, and it is very nice. And that's that. Maybe there'll be a review on this guy in the future. I got Oogie Boogie and Bog Zombie and Cemetery Angel. Those are all gifts though, so I don't actually own them right now. But that's not the point of this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you are interested in getting this guy, let me know. I want to see how your luck is if you have him at your Home Depot right now. If you do want to get him, like I said, I recommend getting him now because he's probably going to be gone. If you want to get him in a couple days or a week or whatever. So that's that. He's super cool. Again, I don't know how many phrases he has, but he has a decent amount. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more. See ya.